talk about how China became big in a very fast time, what it did, how China did it, how their role in the global world, why America helped them, then how China dared to challenge America on all fronts. All this was done in less than 40 years and success. The world is only now realizing China's power. It was when the Olympics in Beijing in 2008 that the world realized that China now and in the future is a threat. How come for 30 years no one has read what China is doing? We are trying to make the essence of making 4 things that make China shine. First, security. The security factor is an important factor in building economic political instability. Chaos demos are things that are anti-development or anti-economic growth. There is not a single region in this world as long as there is human civilization whose economy has grown in a state of regional chaos or political chaos in its daily life. For example, in the Suharto era 25 years the beginning of his power was full of control over the growing economy. If we look at the history of Indonesia, if we go to Singapore, Singapore has been a country without political problems for more than 60 years until now. Likewise, China after the death of Mao Zedong in 1976, who was replaced by Deng Xiaoping. Deng is China's peacekeeper at home and abroad. What this means is how China plays its political board game beautifully, where there are 19 countries that border China. First, China protects 19 countries. On the border with China, there are strong countries such as Russia, Japan, South Korea, or unstable countries, such as Afghanistan, Pakistan, Central Asia, all of which are handled well by shopping. The security gaps of each can be overcome, so within the country the control of the Chinese Communist Party's political bureau focuses in the economic sector with a strategy that is the opposite of the Mao Zedong that has been implemented since Mao's death in 76, namely that government management is held by very progressive shopping which opens itself up to foreign investors, opens up to investors. Why do investors want it? Because China implements good governance, good state management. Corruption or corruption punish them. Focus on foreign investors entering funds, not loans. Differentiate between foreign investors and foreign loans. Yes, foreign investors don't make the country indebted if the country is in debt. The one that uses the money is the country that has a problem. If the country builds things that are not productive, for example the flexing that is built cannot pay the money. This loan is dangerous when you take office, but your successor will feel the negative impact of this large debt. If foreign investors don't go into debt, but build it, it makes the country generate income, namely from taxes. China is smart in building. Everything built by foreign investors is labor intensive, aka you have to absorb a lot of labor and slowly. Chinese people are adept at working because they have been working for years and started copying what foreign factories made when they copied officials, unlike in the southern country of China, where officials often hire entrepreneurs starting from making their own fertilizer or doing whatever they want, which gives the impression that there is no permission to be captured or copying of foreign products which are being copied, so they are afraid, and that is the true stupidity of officials who are looking for money from the people to work. And then China is taking advantage of the demographic advantage of the aged population, productive by building foreign factories initially which had many employees and were labor intensive. At that time there were 10 to 15 productive people to cover one parent in China between the 1980s and 2010s. The figure of 10 to 15 people was twice as high from the average of other countries, where the average of other countries is 10 productive people to cover one parent who is supported by them. Globally currently in Japan 2 people support one. Combination of personal skills, personal knowledge and government facilities is the key. Successfully exploited its demographic advantage. Then China focused on agriculture in the 1980s until 2000. The Chinese government forced residents to return to the villages. However, it wasn't just forcing residents, the government also made all agricultural infrastructure and roads ready for villages to develop. Water and electricity lines are all carried out at the price of food self-sufficiency, and it is indeed successful. Fertilizer is not just subsidized, everyone is left to make their own fertilizer, planting machines. Of course, there are no standard rules, the important thing is that the results are abundant. In Indonesia, one question out of thousands of questions has no answer except to say that the officials are like that. For example, we ask why people who make their own fertilizer cannot have INA's permission, even though their own fields are their own fields. Their own fields are not self-fertilizing. Can I be arrested? It's strange. Peace.